All right, it is time. Last exercise, last report back of the day. You can just stand on your table, one of you, share the load, somebody who hasn't presented before. 2 minutes, tell us what was missing, the major missing pieces, and the major barriers. 2 minutes. We will start over there.
Well, we saw a couple of different things, because a lot of Isla Vista, like, you can get around on foot, you can get around on bike, but there's safety hazards, and we kind of saw that as barriers. So we saw certain places where the barriers were cars, or the barriers were the fact that there weren't sidewalks. In particular for that, we had Pardal Road, because, I mean, we've discussed this whole weekend, there's a lot of times that cars shouldn't be there. And the same with Del Playa, certain nights of the week, barriers being cars. And then another barrier we had was between Pardal and the park, because we were talking about how there's that separation wall. And then also, what was that? Also sidewalks. There were certain places where there's not sidewalks, so that creates a barrier to be able to safely walk.
They disappear. We noticed that. Great. All right, moving on. You guys up here?
Yes.
Sure, make the plan.
Major missing connections, major barriers.
Okay, so yes, basically anywhere without a sidewalk is an issue at night, certainly. Is somehow we can formalize these mid-block. Well, I'll just go into this map.
Oh yeah, if you can just point to the big map so we all know.
Yeah.
And I'll take your small map so I can document all that.
Yeah, if we can formalize these mid-block crossings, that would be great, especially during like Halloween. Let me see. I noted that I basically put, we need to improve the head connection between campus edge and Isla Vista. I know there's this grade difference, and something that has to be done. The experience that we would aim for is like Telegraph, how it dead ends into UC Berkeley or Davis. That similar seamless experience, and we can talk about Ocean Road over on to the blue in the face, but yeah. Let's see. Obstacles. Well, actually, before I go on obstacles, not necessarily an advocate for taking people's property, but to have some kind of path that goes along the cliff edge would be amazing. Just like you can walk on Campus Point bluffs right now. Let's see. This is a huge space here, getting from here to here, and I know this is environmentally sensitive habitat, but encouraging more people to use this as to get from here to here on the TED. It's kind of scary at night, especially. But how do we formalize that in an environmentally sensitive way? That's something. These new, it's not off of this map, but these new developments, but by university, making sure that we have some kind of head connection between these huge new housing centers and campus is important. Obstacles, this intersection where Santa Cat and, this intersection, where Communicorto and El Colegio are, is just heinous for if you're bicyclist or pedestrian. Something has to be done. I don't know what, but I see already there's some red dots on Community Pescadero. It's kind of dicey if you're a pedestrian trying to cross these streets that jog from this side to this side. Let's see, the Pardal Tunnel something needs to happen. Here's the goal. There's a lot of high traffic, and something that I had thought about is there a way to take a lot of bike traffic off of Pardal and move it on to, say, Salvador Tarde, because there's just so many bicycles that it actually detracts a little bit from the ped experience. Let's see. mentioning something about this roundabout here. Can you talk about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
The roundabout that is leading, it's on El Colegio leading over to the rec cen. It's improved a lot since they installed the stop signs for bicyclists, but I think more education and directional signage for bikes could be helpful just because culturally everyone was used to biking through that light to the point that it was backing up traffic on the road. And then I think also, you've mentioned this, but just formalizing a lot of these desire lines that exist, because there are so many unofficial paths, and you know, me being here for 8 years, I have all of these shortcuts through IV that I feel comfortable doing, but like someone who's new to the community might not feel as comfortable walking through private property, even though that's the shortest possible distance from DP to Abrego. So just creating, yeah, it's true, you know, like there actually are a lot of different cut throughs if you know your way around the town, but for someone who's new, it's hard, and then you find yourself walking these full blocks that are actually pretty long. It can take you like 20 minutes from one intersection to the next, depending on how quickly you're walking, and also your sobriety. So it's I think it's helpful to formalize a lot of those desire lines that we see through parkways, through private property too.
Don, you had mentioned something about this stadium here.
Oh, just that's kind of on campus, but there's an old bike path left next to the track, which is about to be redone, and I see people kind of talking to people.
Great. Thank you so much. Back table. Walter.
Sure. All right. So we had kind of a lot that's already been said. I think kind of two of the biggest things is, or like this, the easiest thing that I'd really like to see get done is on Sabado. Yeah, there's a gate that exists so that police and the buses can go through, but no one else can, and that would just be like a very quick and easy way to bring more access, and to have everyone who lives over here not need to cross Pardal. And we were also thinking that part of the reason that so many bikes are funneled through Pardal is because that's kind of like one of the main and the best bike entrance to UCSB, and if there were more, that would relieve the pressure. Also talked about kind of trying to line these up better, and also like the barrier right here connecting to faculty housing, that could be opened up. I think it'd be funny to make a mock of Checkpoint Charlie there. But yeah, I guess, and like kind of excited about this pass through that's going in, and mostly just kind of connecting streets. Ooh, also getting rid of the barrier here on Pardal might be kind of nice. Add anything else?
Sure, I'm all for at least designing all of the intersections so that they're open. Perhaps they don't all handle vehicles, but right now, as Jake said, only Sabado Tarde has any kind of a formal entryway. Currently, they're all open to pedestrians. Not all of them are open to bikes. So as a consequence, some of those get used by bikes. But I think we could also open Cordova Road would be a second one. But like I say, I'm in favor of opening as many as possible. As Jacob said, some of those 70s insertions, such at Pardal Road, I'm not so sure how well those really work. They block cars, right? But they give bicyclists this idea that they have some superiority overruling the roads, and I think that leads to bad behavior in Isla Vista. So I would consider eliminating all of those, and then these vexing roads that don't line up, if there is some way to smooth them out and bring them more to a regularized intersection that people could behave correctly instead of just sort of giving up and racing through as they're wont to do. I think that sort of covers it.
One thing I would like to point out about jog intersections, it's like there are good things about it, there are bad things about it. The good thing is that the cars can't zip through it, and that's important because it just, you can't just do zoop all along. And which is why a lot of times they work well. But the other thing is for, they still do?
They still try.
Yeah.
But, yeah. System mining and monitoring is very important in that. But then a lot of times that's the thinking behind it, that if you jog an intersection, it is to deter zipping through. But it definitely becomes, for pedestrians, it becomes a problem. It becomes a barrier. It's easier for bicyclists and drivers, but for pedestrians, it's a definite, it can be a problem. So, can I have your map, please? And we're going to keep moving on. You guys are up next. Thank you.
All right. Hi guys, we looked at,
Could you?
yeah. So we've established a lot of our desire lines have been directly through the center, through here, and also diagonally through. And if you can also see, our desire lines are also dotted here with opportunity spaces, so that's a nice parallel that's going on. But that in all of these spaces, there is barriers. They're not really defined. All of the spaces into campus as well. It has to do with lighting. It has to do with safety. It's the way people go, but it's maybe dangerous.
Yeah, we also talked about Ivy Theater, how this gets really dangerous. This like intersection right here can get really dangerous right as students are leaving class from Ivy Theater. So I think it would be interesting if we put like a roundabout here, and maybe that could also like bring, into the rest of the loop. It's in some kind of way, like some kind of intersection, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but doing something like in this general area would be good.
Mm-hmm.
In general. And then we also talked about the cut through here, and like how she mentioned that there's a lot of cut throughs in Isla Vista that residents of Isla Vista know about and outsiders don't. So it would be nice if we not only had one on this side, but if we also had one somewhere over here, or like a way that we could make it like obvious to let people know that they can cut through in that specific area to get to like beach access this way or something like that. Yeah, so that's what we talked about.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Can I just add something, because I'm going to go off the map here. But UCSB has just built this incredible amount of housing over here, especially and there's a lot of concern in the community, a great deal of concern in the community about all those people. They're all students. They're going to come, and they're going to come into the university. So, how are they going to do it? Are they going to go on Caleo, which is not like that? Are they going to come down here? How are they going to do it? So, it's not on this map, but it's a big concern. And already we're seeing a lot of really horrible bicycle practices happening up here at the the corner with it.
Yeah, Oakwood and Stork.
Yeah. It's really scary.
No, and then that's a crosswalk for the elementary school kids.
It's
They
absolutely,
They
it's the
do have
schools too.
supervised crossing at the times of the class, but outside of that, it's just, it's pretty crazy.
Not to deflect, but that intersection is funded and will be redesigned for pedestrian and bicycle movement.
Which is good, but right now what's happening is people are parking on Fortuna and walking across the green space to get to their housing on Santa Catalina, and it's just problematic right now. So whatever can be done, support.
I imagine once the parking at Samcat though is updated, that'll probably help that issue quite a bit, right?
Oh, it will, but it's
a temporary issue right
yeah,
now.
and there are
since it's
people that are, they're really fearful of walking across that green space because it's dark, it's not lit. So.
Is there another group? Yes, last group right here. All right, take it away.
Thanks, Abud.
So many similar conclusions in our group as the others. The cut-throughs here would be great, as well one here. Sidewalks on this part of DP are not as great as they are. I mean, they've been updated on this end, but the west end of DP could use some updating. One second, let me orient myself with the map better. The paths here need better lighting that connect to Communicordo, and just Communicordo in general. This part got a lot better, but this part is still not good. And if we want to, I think basically all of these, Pescadero del Sur and Communicordo, don't have consistent lighting or sidewalks, and those are the most car-heavy streets, I would say, in IV, because those are the entryways. Makes it really hard to walk up and down. If you're going from DP to Abrego, this is not a safe path to go on, especially late at night. There's a lot of cars. When the police and maybe the medics are driving around, they have to go fast sometimes. Large crowds on the street. So those really need to be updated. This end, again, the pathway here would be excellent. Right here, it's a little awkward, and it could be better to get through over here because there's like the trash cans behind the Barcadero Hall. Also over here where the bridge is, like we've said earlier, doesn't really make sense, so better connecting it with how all that works. That's, I think that might be everything that we wrote down. Oh, in terms of this one, I'm not sure if it's going to be cars or bikes and pedestrians only, but I think it would be good to have it mainly pedestrians and bikes. If we do want to have cars, do it like a temporary lifting and raising. But this looks like it can have a lot of cool potential for people to get through. So let's not make it just cars, and that would maybe ruin it. Also traffic control just in general, especially on the Pardal Plaza. That's important. But that's it.
Thank you so much. And thank you everybody. This was wonderful.